What's your? Can you give
Oh
us
yeah, I got
an Andre story? You have an Andre story to share?
okay. My first time in Madison Square Garden. I'm sitting there, man, this is great. I'm at the Garden. But I don't ever like to know who I'm wrestling before I get there, you know. I didn't care about that. I just knew I was going to work, you know. And if you don't want to look at something and know you got Abdullah the Butcher for 2 weeks. You know, you'd rather not know it for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I didn't like to know who I was working with. So I get to Madison Square Garden. I go upstairs. I look on the roster, and, wow, I found my name. I'm in the Battle Royal. Oh, cool. So I want to see who else is in the Battle Royal. Wow, my brother's in the Battle Royal. Jake is in the Battle Royal. This is the first time me and Jake have ever been in the ring together. And it's at Madison Square Garden. Wow, this is going to be a big night.
Yeah.
So anyway, you go get dressed and stuff like that. Well, it was hockey season. And during hockey season, they keep the ice on the floor, and they put particle board on top of the ice, and then they set the ring and the chairs up on top of the ice. They got to keep it so cold, though, in that building to keep that ice frozen and everything. So at ground, you know, it's like Freon. So anyway, we're out there in Speedos, basically.
Right.
We're in Speedos, just about everybody. So the battle royal starts, and me and Jake are in the ring, and nobody knows really. A whole lot of people didn't know that we were brothers at the time. A few people knew.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody had me in a headlock right in the middle of the ring, and somebody walked by and slapped me in the back as hard as they could. Oh my God, it stung. And I looked between my legs from that headlock, and I saw snakeskin boots walking by.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my brother did that to me. Yeah. So I waited a couple of minutes, and he got tied up with Piper over in the corner. And I kid you not, guys, I went over, I slapped him so hard in the back, it left the handprint on his chest.
Oh, I believe it, yeah.
So he turns around, he's selling it real big. So now we're standing in the middle of the ring looking at each other. And Jake looks at me and he says, you know, a lot of these guys don't know we're brothers. And I said, yeah. He said, we could really swerve everybody and win this, take this thing and split the cash. What are they going to do? And I start thinking about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got to pay us, you know? Excuse me. So I said, what do we got to do first? And he goes, we got to get rid of the giant.
Oh,
and Andre was over there. Andre's over on the side of the ropes on the side of the ring, and he's beating up like 4 guys, laughing that he's probably had 2 cases of water. Whoa, 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 whack, whoa, 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 just having a good old time. So Jake looks at me and says, you ready? And I said, yeah. And he said, let's go. And he took a step, and I stepped with him, and I kept walking, and I didn't realize that my brother had only taken that one step and stopped. And I went over there and snatched that big man by the leg, and I was trying to hoist him up, and I wasn't getting no kind of help. And I look back in the middle of the ring, and my brother is sitting there. He's laughing his ass off at me. And about that time, this hand, the size of, I don't know, like, oh gosh, a baseball mitt, comes swinging through the air, and you can't get away from it. The reach is just, even if it was coming slow, it's still going to hurt. I landed, I kid you not, in second row of ringside on my hands and knees, spitting out a molar on the side of my mouth.
Oof.
Left side. So I go in the dressing room, and I'm icing my jaw down. And Terry Garvin comes in the dressing room, and he says, Dancing Sam, the giant wants to see you. Like, oh. So Terry walked out of the dressing room. He came back about 3 minutes later, and he looks at me, and his eyes bugged out, and he goes, Dancing Sam, he said, the giant wants to see you. Go to that man's dressing room. Do not make him come looking for you.
Right.
And I was like, all right. So I walk down the hallway and I find his dressing room. I knock on the door and he goes, yes. And I open the door and he looks at me. He says, come in. I come in, boy. And he points to the chair. Sit. And I sit down and I tell you what, I'm trying to look all kinds of small. I don't want to be intimidating at all. And I've known André since I was about 10 or 11 years old.
Okay.
So André goes, let me tell you something. He goes, I've known you since you were a little boy. I like you. I don't like your brother, though. He's an asshole. From now on, you travel with me. You know, and I was like, all right, because when I was 15 years old, I was picking up, whenever André had come into the territory, I was picking him up and taking him all over the place.
Yeah.
So I know, yeah, and he used to come in the territory and be my dad's tag team partner, and they'd be the world's biggest tag team because at the time Dad was like, he wasn't 7 foot anymore, he was 6'10".
Okay.
But André, so
that tag team must have been brutal if anyone went against them, right?
Oh God, I got some stories to tell on that. We got.
Listen, Daddy, boogie woogie man feel good. I tell my people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss online. Rewind, recap, relive. Oh yeah.